and he's pedal to the metal, go, go, go!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome along to PSGL, sponsored by GT Omega. We are here tonight, of course, for PSGL F2 on the PS. It is season number 33. It is round number 5 of the championship, or round number 6, I should say, of the championship, as we take in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from the Baku Street Circuit. My name is James, delighted to be taken to the stream, of course, as always, on this fine and very, very sunny, I should say, Monday evening. Joining me in the commentary box, as per last week, it is Mr. FBR Timon. Timon, how you doing?
I am doing better and hopefully with a lot better of a mic. I've been working stuff around last week, first time streaming individually fully on Discord. This time I've connected my PlayStation with it and it should be a lot better. If there are any audio issues, please tell me and I will change it. I will swap to something else. I will work on it. But I'm very, very happy to be back. Didn't expect to be back in F2, but more games will be commentating F1 tonight as a co-commentator because Commentalist will be absent. So I'm very happy to be slotting in again.
Yeah, I believe Aiden is out with a few friends I've seen on his Instagram, which I'm not going to put him in it whatsoever. I've just literally said that on stream, so he's probably now going to turn around to me and say, you shouldn't have said that. That was absolutely terrible. You're just totally out of line. But in the end, we are here tonight, as I say, for Baku. Hope you all doing well in the chat there as well. Francis McGinn in the chat. Interesting, very, very interesting former driver, of course, of PSGL and indeed of other leagues that I've done. Matthijs van Irven in the chat as well. What on earth is going on tonight? We're not even started yet, and we've got some of the top guys formerly in the PlayStation here as well. And the last thing they'll be expecting is me on commentary, certainly for F2 tonight as well. But what we can do is look through the championship standings, which I'm sure everyone is wanting to have a look at. Considering we've had two domination rounds from TF Jerry Van Bussel. He's there in fourth now on 33 points. Of course, he won last week in Bahrain. Second position last week went to Yabraka. Had a fantastic race, the German, even though he really did not have much pace. Same with Marley there in third. They didn't have much pace last week. In the end, second and third, fantastic results from their perspective. Lars currently leading the way. The Talent Factory holding 1-2 at this stage. 48 points for Lars. 42 points in second for Black Box. And then Devon in third on 38 points. Jerry Van Bussel there in fourth on 33. He's well within championship contention now and could actually take the championship lead of Lars, Black Box and Devon. DNF here tonight in Baku. It is just possible that they could. Brad is there in fifth on 24 with Johan in sixth on 23. Kieran in seventh on 22. Watch out for him. He took the win yesterday afternoon in the NLR team event. So the ERT man is in good form coming into tonight. Ari's there in eighth on 20, Ron there in 9th and 14. Yabraka and Nuth are tied for 10th on 10 points, with Molly scoring his first point of the season. Will Murdoch there in 13th, that's why Francis McGinn, I'm sure, is in the chat. Twist there in 14th, with Schumacher 15th, who has left the league, which I think is unfortunate. Could be fortunate from the driver's perspective. Unfortunate, I think, from our perspective, because we don't have to commentate on them anymore. He's there in 15th, of course. He is going to be part of the F1 Esports Challenger Series as well. We've got a couple of drivers here tonight that is part of that series going forward. Gabriel also tied in 16th on 6. Ryan in 17th on 5. And then Luca Cardozo Renz, who have scored points so far this season. And Timon, Bahrain last week, we saw an ultimate masterclass from Jerry Van Bussel. Well within championship contention now. 15 points off Lars. What does he have to do tonight in Baku, ideally, to take the championship lead?
I mean, ideally you want to win. I mean, that's what he's here for, and that's what he wants to do. But it is Baku. You never know what is going to happen. But points-wise, he would need to win to take the championship lead. The gap of points currently is 15 points, so he needs Lars to have an absolute stinker of a race and Jerry to win himself. There are only 17 drivers in the lobby, it seems like. When I was calculating, it was 16. So we know Kryptonite has joined, but apparently someone else is here as well.
Mr. William Murdoch.
And what you said with Will Murdoch, yeah, he did count him, I think. What you said, by the way, with Schumacher, I do believe Schumacher has a Challengers ban from his antics last season in Challengers. But if we look at the standings, Brad is the 4th TF driver in the top 5. He is not here this week. He obviously won round number 1 and had 2 0-point scorers, one in Singapore and one in Bahrain. He'll be dropping back a bit more, and he already had a 9-point gap to the top 4. So I think Bradders, he will be losing a lot of points today, and his championship chances will become very slim after this race if one of the 4 guys in the top 4 score well. You got 3 drivers from TF, 1 driver from FFVR. I was in a party with Devin before this. He wasn't feeling all that confident, but I'm sure Baku will be Baku, and we can't predict yet who will win.
Nobody is looking forward to Baku, trust me. I said to Timon just before we came live, I absolutely detest this track, and Diego was right. There could be 10 safety cars incoming tonight as well. I think the maximum you can get in the game is 5, so I think that's pushing it just a little bit over the extremities there. But it is entirely possible. The drivers are just beginning to go out on track very soon. And we'll have a look through the constructor signs and then go to the track map and then go to the on-track action very soon. It is Haas that lead the way on 64 points. McLaren there in second on 57. Of course, they scored the most amount of points along with Ferrari last week, actually, in seventh there down in seventh in the constructors, I should say. McLaren though in second on 57. AlphaTauri there in third on 55. Alfa Romeo there in fourth on 46. Aston Martin fifth on 34. Alpine sixth on 23. Ferrari 7th on 22, then Williams in 8th on 18, Mercedes in 9th on 9, and then Red Bull in 10th on 3 points. Let's have a look then at the track map in question. We have got the first man out on track, which is ERT Kieran, who will come forward with very shortly indeed, but it's 6 kilometres then 3.7 mile, where the old meets the new, as I like to say around here in Baku. The flame towers towering over turn number 7, and then of course the modern part of the city towards the end of the straight down in towards turn number 1. Could we get a record of a Verstappen sort of incident? As I've nearly seen Kieran crash into the castle section on the left-hand side of me, which is not a great start whatsoever. But Baku, Timon, it is going to be a track that really tests the drivers.
Yeah, Baku, it's a track where you can really be rewarded if you're on the limit. But if you make one mistake and just go over the limit, you'll be in the wall with wing damage or a wheel off. So, but that's the beauty of street circuits. You really see the drivers that are the most comfortable with that car perform the greatest, and if you just are not really that confident on the setup, you will see drivers make mistake or get damaged easily. Kieran will be the first driver to be on his lap, so let's just go on board with him and see what's happening. I don't think he has damage. I didn't hear the contact with the wall, but I was checking Discord because someone was asking which graphic card he should buy. I've got no clue about that, but and there goes his lap.
Caught on the outside curve coming in towards turn number 1, and if there wasn't damage, he hasn't got any damage from that incident, but if there was damage on the car, he's literally done Tony Hawk style, probably broken his collarbone and everything like that on that sausage curve down in towards turn 1, but it is such an easy thing to do around this track. I, to be honest, have never seen that happen. When drivers are preparing up for lap, I've never seen someone get bottom basically on the sausage curb, down in towards on the outside of turn number 1, down into the braking zone, and then spin the car. First time I've ever seen that around this track. So Kieran is done on his lap. The second man, I believe that's just started. Maybe the FER man of Devon, who was on the run down in towards the left-hander of turn number 3. No bias shown in the comment box whatsoever for my co-commentator alongside me. But it is Devon in towards the left-hander of turn number 3. And then in towards the right-hander of turn number 4. And these literally flick 90-degree lefts, 90-degree rights in this first sector. Very tricky first sector to try and get on with. 35 flat though in the first sector from Devon. Not looking too bad at all. But now comes through turn number 6, and then with the flame towers towering over turn number 7, just in the background of the shot there, in towards turn number 7, and then in towards my favourite part of the track, the castle section. I famously tried to go around the outside of somebody here at the castle section, didn't end well. Down in towards through turn 10, through the right-hander of 11, and through the left-hander of turn number 12. That's why everyone that I'm in the commentary box and not being out on track tonight Krypton, I think, was taking my position potentially for that. But Devon on the run up the hill, on the run down the hill, even in towards turn number 15, to the left-hander here. You clout the wall on the right-hand side, you can get a bit of a bounce off the curb on the right-hand side. Devon avoids that curve though. 15-1 in the middle sector is not looking too bad at all. Expect lap times around the 137 to 138 mark, I think, in terms of lap times around here. We'll see what Devon can do though. Through the right-hander of turn 19, then through the little kink of turn number 20. This is a very assured lap. I'm sure he will improve. Kieran 58.3, you can totally ignore that. Devon now on the run to line should be going around the 39 mark, because Kieran has actually gone straight on at turn number 1. 39.2 from Devon, and there is Kieran down the escape run. He has crashed, I think, done exactly the same thing, got on the outside curb, but this time he's in the wall.
That is very far from ideal. Jerry van Bussel immediately going 5 tenths quicker than Devon, and that's what we expected to see from the back-to-back winner. He wants to do it again in Baku, of course. Jabaka is someone else who I've been keeping my eye out on. He got second last time round. He hasn't scored a single point before this race, and he got second. I think Jabaka is someone who's either getting a lot of points here, or just not having a good result at all. Jabaka, he was a bit content, was also retired meanwhile as well in Castle section. But I'm hoping to see Jabaka have a really good race. Let's see, next up towards the line, it should be Kryptonite. No, it's not Kryptonite. It's Will Murdoch, the teammate of Kryptonite. This is a legendary pairing in the Mercedes car. Will Murdoch brings it into 7th. But the real question is, who will win between those two? Kryptonite or Will Murdoch?
Championship leader, by the way, Lars, only going 4th, 39.169. Somehow fit himself in the gap between Yabraka, Renz and Luca Kart, and they are covered by 400ths of a second. So that is how close the bottom end of the front 3 are at this stage. Yabraka there, obviously, there in 3rd. Blackbox is 16 flat in the middle sector. He's obviously made a mistake somewhere out on track, because that is not in keeping with his consistency. And I think, actually, is he coming in the pit lane? No, he's not. He's just dragging toward the left-hand side. And 11th position, a 140 flat from Blackbox. He is
Kryptonite.
Go on. 12th.
Oh.
Disappointing.
12. That's disappointing. This is very, very disappointing.
Terrible. Even behind Blackbox. What I was about to say there is Blackbox is part of the F1 Esports Challenger Series this season. I believe as well we also have one more, and I can't pick up on who that might be. Is he actually racing tonight? I'm not sure. But Blackbox there in 12th is racing. He is part of the F1 Esports Challenger Series. He's there in 12th position, 140 flat. Most of the guys, of course, on the F1 Esports Series, you will see. Diego's saying he got a massive screen freeze. Apologies about that. That might have been on the stream end if that was the case. If it wasn't, then I'm assuming something's going wrong on my end in terms of the stream. Hopefully you can all hear us. It seems like it's working fine. It might just be on your end there, Diego. But Jerry out on top. Johan second, Yabraka there in 3rd. First laps are done, and already Kieran out of turn number 1, out of the session. Zols are already at the session through the castle section, and Kryptonite's just invalidated on the 2nd lap.
Yeah, challenges wise, I think you meant Bradders. He is absent this week. He was challenges. Besides that, I do not really have all that much knowledge on challenger drivers. I got a DM from Richie, by the way, who was a class commentator, does PC F2 and PSGL here. He said that I sounded Irish, which I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. But yeah, everyone has done their first runs. Jerry van Bussel is just clear by 3 tenths currently. He's just absolutely on fire. He must have put a solid amount of time into this track here, because he went from a very bad run of results, not getting a single point, to back-to-back wins. If he wins again, would that be one of the longer PSGL win streaks we have seen, at least in a high tier? Because of course in the bottom tiers you can see drivers really quickly improve. But if you go back-to-back wins in a tier like F2, I don't think we've really seen it before that often.
Yeah, definitely. So, Zozo, by the way, is the QRT man, by the way, that is at the session. I've just totally clicked on to that 8 minutes into the qualifying session. He is already at the session. Zozo there, though, saying in the chat, massive screen freeze for me. So that is why Zozo was out. Coming through the castle section, I think, is where he crashed. So screen freeze through the castle section, that is not the best way to start off the night whatsoever. Could mean, obviously, if that is reported and it's and obviously it's dealt with within the next 10 minutes, it could mean a potential restart in terms of the lobby. I know there have been glitches around this track in previous times. Richie, by the way, as well, Liam backing you up, I think, saying Simon does not sound Irish in the chat, which I'm really glad is the case, because he does sound Dutch to me, as opposed to being Irish in the commentary box here. Frankie saying on as a gold, as Nuth has crashed coming through turn 3.
He fully outbroke himself. He's just gone straight into the wall. Yabaka got caught up and a bit stuck because of it. Knuth has just fully outbroken himself, I think, and just ended up in the wall.
Yeah.
He might have got a bit jumped up on the curb, but what's happened?
That was Renz going straight on just in the background. The other Alpine, Johanna was on board with, and Renz has just nearly done exactly the same thing. Luckily, he was more down the escape road than actually into the wall out of turn number 3. Renz, though, in 5th. He could have a good qualifying session here tonight, but we'll go back on board with the man of the moment at the minute, Jerry Van Bussel. Of course, 2 wins for his name, 2 out of 2 since returning really to PSGL F2 this season. He is on the run down in towards turn 1 and 138.737 to beat. Will Murdoch also saying, by the way, Fran, what's it like in the retirement home? And there's no comment there from Francis McGinn, which I'm very glad to say he is not in the retirement home at this stage. Hopefully he will find time in investment, certainly in the Gran Turismo series, I think. He's also saying what is happening. Liam saying pure chaos in qualifying, and even more chaos has just joined because Schumacher's just joined.
That's very interesting. He's joined the session. He has left PSGL, but yeah, I don't know what the deal is with that. Let's just focus on the qualifying for now. Jerry Van Bussel going quickest in Sector 1 so far, half a tenth of a second quicker, coming up now towards the most dangerous, but the most fun section on this whole track, the castle section. You want to be as close to the walls here. You do not want to pull a Charles Leclerc here. Sorry for all the Charles Leclerc fans that got reminded of this, but every time you think of the castle section, you must think of that crash that happened there. Him smashing his hands on the steering wheel and just absolutely bottling it. Who also bottled it is Luca Kart in the castle section. I mean, miracles do happen apparently. Jerry Van Bussel now coming towards the Sector 2 split. How much quicker is he going? Oh my day, 3.5 tenths. This is going to be an absolutely beautiful lap. If he gets lucky, he's going to get a slipstream as well from the Mercedes. Schumacher, meanwhile, leaves the session. Very glad for that, so we don't have to restart. Jerry Van Bussel, he's going for, it's going to be a 0.4. Maybe, not a 0.3.
Could even be quicker because he is just getting a little bit of slipstream on the run down in towards turn 1. Jerry to the line, 38.395, 3/10 of a second clear. In fact, Johan went second. Devon follows up into second. Jerry Van Bussel, I don't know what he's cooking tonight, but I want to have some of what he's on at this stage. Add on top from Devon in second, Johan there in third. Black Box is just coming through the first second. Just trying to flick on with somebody that might be on a lap that's furthest on. Renz is invalidated on what I can say. Nyabraka is 3.5 tenths up coming to the left-hander. Return 18, then to the right-hander, return number 19. And the German is looking to try and get onto the front row of the grid for second consecutive week, in fact, in terms of Bahrain. But Jerry out on top, Devon second. Johan there in third. Luca Kopp, by the way, is at the session. He crashed through the castle section, as you mentioned, and Yabraka has gone onto the front row of the grid for now. But Jerry Van Bussel, a 38.3. I honestly cannot describe what pace he is on at this stage. He is just looking, this second half of the season, from basically 2 rounds ago in Austria, and then coming alive, in France, and then coming alive in Austria as Black Box is responding 14.7 in the middle sector. A big middle sector coming in from Black Box here at this stage. If he improves another 3-4 tenths, he is up there with Jerry Van Bussel. They're both in the same party, they're both be egging each other on. I'm absolutely guaranteed of that. As now, Black Box, the F1 Esports Challengers van, is on the run to the line. Could go second, I think, with this lap. The Haas man on the run to the line should be comfortably second, and he is. 38.652, a tenth and a half clear of Yabraka. Jerry, though, out on top, Black Box in second, Yabraka in third, and people in the chat are probably wondering, well, if Black Box is F1 Esports Challengers, why isn't Jerry Van Bussel?
James, I think Jerry Van Bussel will be getting a DM after this race, and he has a decision to make. Will he be going to F1, or will he be going for the title here in F2? Because he's not currently leading the standings. F2 doesn't have the most amount of reserves, so that option might not be there. But he definitely has the pace for F1. I'm going to watch F1 after this, but I really doubt the whole grid will be doing a 0.3 at this stage of time. This is an absolutely incredible lap from Jerry Van Bussel. He's showing his true pace here that he has not been able to show in the first couple of rounds. But doing a 38.395 here in your second run only is incredible. How much quicker can he go in the final run? The track will be having more grip, and this is a track where you really need grip. You need acceleration, you need turn-in. Track development will really be an important factor here. I don't know what he can do, but if he improves by a lot, what's he doing in F2?
Exactly, and that's what probably Big C and everyone in the background. Kryptonite is, by the way, a part of the stewarding team, part of the admin team here in PSGL, so he's got a first-hand look, basically, at what Jerry's pace is like. He's probably seen his middle sectors and his all of his 3 sectors and probably thinking, well, why is he not F1? And we've had cases in the past where OP Ray was dominating in PSGL F2 a couple of seasons ago. He's now, of course, in PSGL F1. I think it was last season, if I'm not mistaken, that he dominated the first couple of races, then got promoted. And it's not too late in the season for these guys to get promoted if they show pace and they show real good attitude, like Jerry is doing at the minute.
Ooh.
Honestly, it's almost as if he's just came absolutely alive. As Will Murdoch, I think, has run out of fuel there. Might have been what you were going ooh at there in round. Twist as well coming into the pit lane. That is not the end of qualifying. We've still got final runs to go, but it's Jerry Van Bussel out on top. It's Black Box in second. And I mean, both Talent Factory drivers are 1-2 at this stage, but they're separated by 0.3 of a second. Jerry out on top from Black Box second, Yebraka there in third. Richie mentioned in the chat as well, I think he's totally right by this comment as well, as Jerry is just the first man to come out the pit lane as well. Saying that challenges is all about luck, and it is. It is all about luck. The AI are stupid as well. He also goes on to say, yeah, challenges is all about luck. I, however, have not had the call-up for F1 Esports challenges this season for the commentary team, which I think is pretty decent, because Kieran McGinley and George Morgan, of course, are going to be taking to the action. I think it starts all next week for the F1 Esports challenges. You can see the likes of Black Box on the PS side. PS, remind me, timing, I think, is Wednesday?
I genuinely do not have a clue. I just, all I can recommend, go to the F1 channel on Twitch, turn on your notification, because you will not want to miss a single one of those races. Even on Xbox, even on PC, all those drivers are going to be incredibly quick, and they're going to be fighting for every single position, every single point, every single week that they drive. It's always just amazing to see, and those are the guys that are going to be fighting eventually for an esports spot. If you can do well, if you can get top 6 and get into the pro exhibition, you have done something really nicely. You should be able to get your pro license then, I think, and should be eligible to drive in F1 esports. It just gives you so many more opportunities, and if you see a driver absolutely dominate those challenges series, normally they are someone to watch out for in the later seasons of F1 esports. And there are now still a few guys in esports that have been there for a long time, and personally I love to see newer guys absolutely there show up and show them who's boss, show them what the pace is like, and show them that the new guys actually have some really good pace as well. But I think we all want to go on board now with Jerry Van Bussel. James, I'm going to let you comment out over this lap. Let's see if Jerry Van Bussel can improve his lap. Can he go into a 0.0 maybe?
Potentially so. Let's have a look then with the Talent Factory man again. No bias showing towards Jerry. He's just the first man out on track on the run now down in towards turn number 1. 217 mile an hour in towards braking done at turn number 1. To the left-hander, beautifully done. Takes the esports line on the right-hand side in toward the left-hander now of turn number 2. Very nicely done indeed. Oh, just catches the curb slightly. Nearly forced him off in toward the wall there, but has looked pretty neat so far. Now in toward the left-hander of turn number 3. He's got around 70% of EOS currently on to use for the rest of this lap. I don't think he'll be using much in this, as he's just sideways like coming out of turn number 3, fouts the wall on the right hand side. Now to the right hand of turn number 4, and Jerry is looking very neat indeed. This will be a sub 35 in the first sector, 34.7. That little bump, I think, off the wall has just cost him about 1/10 of a second. He can make this up though through the middle sector, especially if he attacks the castle section, where he can gain in excess of 2.5, 3/10 of a second. I've seen around here in the past. Is now Jerry in toward the left hand of turn number 8 through the castle section, and that is how you attack the castle section. Beautiful, and actually looked better than his first run, as he now comes to the left hand of turn number 12 at the top of the hill. Famously where, of course, Ericsson, Grosjean famously blamed each other for the incident. In fact, it was Grosjean spinning the safety car back here in, 2016, 2017, I think it was. Jerry Van Bussel now on the run out of turn 15, and toward the left-hander of turn number 16 at a 14.3. That castle section was telling, because he's absolutely flown through that middle sector. 2/10 gained alone out of that middle sector. Now to the right-hander of turn number 19. On the up towards turn number 20, we are seeing a very special lap here from Jerry Van Bussel. He has not got any slipstream at all ahead of him. It's just now lights the flag in terms of this. Jerry Van Bussel on the run to the line, 38.2, and that is not going to be beaten. Jerry out on top, Black Box in second. is down 7/10 of a second. He is down in his lap, made a mistake, I think, in the middle sector somewhere. Yabraka is on the run toward the line. Next, though, the VAR man is on the run to the line. Devon as well, going second, 38.5. Yabraka, I think, might be going quicker than Devon, though, on the run to the line from Yabraka. And he goes second, and a big lap, actually, from Yabraka, 38.4. So get a 10th and a half within on Jerry is not bad at all. Johan now coming through the final couple of corners. We've got Twist and the likes on the run to the line. Championship leader Lyles only goes 5th. There's 38.8. He could now go further down. As Johan now is on the run toward the line. The one esports fan on the run to the line goes 4th ahead of Blackbox. Blackbox found himself further down the field. Twist now with a 14.7. A 10th and a half up. Coming through the right-hand return, number 20. Will Murdoch go in 6th position there as well. Aries on the run to the line. Goes into... I've just missed Aries. No, he hasn't came across the line yet. That was Gabriel going 6th. Aries there is 3/10 up. He's on the run to the line at 14.9 in that middle sector. And he, I think, manages to go around 10th or 11th position, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 10th position there from Aries. Wow, what a qualifying session. In the end, taken apart by only one man. Jerry Van Bussel is out on top in this qualifying session. Your bracket, to be fair, though, only a 10th and a half away from Devon there in 3rd, Johan there in 4th, the talent factory man of Black Box, the F1 Esports Challengers man in 5th, Gabriel there in 6th, with Will Murdoch there in 7th, Twist there in 8th, Lyles Championship leader down in 9th. Where has his form gone from early on in the season? Aries there in 10th, from Renz there in 11th, Luca Clark there in 12th, then Krypton in 13th, Ron there in 14th, Kieran in 15th. We didn't set a lap time. He was out of the session early on. Zoza with that screen freezer. Nuth crashing out as well in that qualifying session. He starts right from the back of the field. We are going to go for a slight intermission break, catch our breath, and be back in 30 seconds. You're back, and I'm back. We are back here for the PSGL. We are here for PSF2. Big thank you, of course, to our sponsors, GT Omega. You can catch everything about that in the description below, about our sponsors, of course, our title sponsor, GT Omega. You can use PSGL at checkout for 5% off of all GT Omega products, and you can also check out the Grid Rival League as well, the Fantasy League. I haven't been doing quite well, honestly, in that Fantasy League. I don't really care. There's money on the line if you do want to put it up. But, Timon, we're about to get going here in Baku. This could be all hell breaking loose in 20 seconds.
Yeah, but it could also be a very peaceful race. Who knows? It's Baku. No one knows. The fact that you're last in Grid Final, by the way, or very far down, just shows that you don't really know anything about Formula One. Poor knowledge, really. I mean, can't really say all that much, but what I can say is that we are preparing to start this race. We got 5 red lights for the Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. 5 red lights. Jerry on ball, and away we go. He seems to have a very good search. Ibaka's at least slower than him, and Jerry's able to defend his P1 easily. Let's see if anyone dies back there, but it seems to be a very clean turn 1 so far. Everyone still being alive, and no major things happening there. It's still side by side in the next corner. Black Box going very nicely around the outside of Johan there, and he is able to get up in P4 already. Meanwhile, back there, it doesn't really, it's all happening already in solo queue. No one really side by side. Renz, send it.
And Will Murdoch.
And it's all still alive.
Will Murdoch's just gone around the outside of Johan, who had a big snap of oversteer as well. There's a spinner in the background. That's Lars, the championship leader. Championship leader round coming through turn number 5. Would you believe it? The talent factory round further down the field. Kieran, by the way, in that set of mediums has gained 5 positions off the race start. Now gaining 6. He's up here into 11th, passing Luca Cart. They're now pretty much nearly going side by side. Twist does not want to go side by side through the castle section here. That was deja vu to back in my day in terms of league racing around here. But Jerry Van Bussel out on top. Your bracket there in 2nd. Devon there in 3rd. A fantastic start from everyone. Will Murdoch, by the way, absolutely sold Johan to the outside line of turn number 3. In the end, Johan got caught in a bit of oversteer, as I mentioned. Will Murdoch through and he's into 5th. And the man who was previously in a retirement home, now coming out of retirement, who's there in 5th.
That was an absolutely incredible overtake there from Will Murdoch. There was, I believe, some contact between Rens and Lars. Lars is missing an end plate, so he's going to have to pit as well. Our championship leader going to be going into the pit lane on lap number 1 with damage. New wing for him, and he will be hoping for a safety car, but it's back. Of course, we can see safety cars. But there we go. Karen on the mediums going for an overtake there on Rens. He is easily able to make that move stick up the inside. He has a lot more grip, able to brake later and capture that position. Kieran up into 10th.
He is up into 10th indeed. As I said a little bit earlier on as well, he did win the NLR team event yesterday in Hungary. So Kieran has got form coming into tonight in terms of race winning positions. And he's there in 10th position. He's gained quite a few off the race start. He's gained 5, in fact, off the race start. Zolzo and Nuth have gained 2 as a result of that contact. Ron has dropped down 2 positions as well. Lars into the pit lane with that front wing change. He is coming out the pit lane right now. The championship leader there down in 17th. Jerry Van Bossel, though, 1.6, 1.7 seconds clear now of Yabraka. The gap is just extending away at this moment in time. Very impressive turn of foot here from Jerry Van Bossel. He's putting Yabraka and Devon completely under the sword. Johan there on the back of Will Murdoch as well in toward the castle section. We're not going to get any ridiculous overtakes in toward the castle section, I don't think. But Kieran on the back of Aries now looking to try and get the move done on the back of the Aston Martin man in towards now the right-hander of the left-hander of turn number 12 at the exit of the castle section. Now passing, of course, the castle on the left-hand side with all the boulevards and all the shops to the left-hand side as well. And Kieran there right on the back of Aries has gone actually a little bit too deep and could bring Renz back into play, maybe down in towards 10-15, and Renz is going to try and go side by side with him. The NLD man, I should say, is not going to get the job done, and Renz trying to counteract there on Kieran's mistake. Kieran in the end still 10th, but he's coming under so much pressure from Renz.
James, I won't lie, I think Yabraka has slight damage on his front right side of the wing. Yeah, Devin is meanwhile going for the move. He's easily able to go past. Yabraka has lost a lot of momentum, and he had a big wall hit coming down. I don't know what corner that is. I can't count quickly. At the corner before Sector 2 split. He just went there. I don't think he broke too late. He just had a big hit of the wall, and the gap is already 2 seconds. Jelle van Bossel has more DRS than Yabraka and Devin, both of them. Devin on very low ERS, but he's in P2 chilling. But I honestly believe that Yabraka picked up a very slight amount of damage. He's just missing apexes, James. I think he's got damage.
Potentially so. He's on that right side end plate. I think I was certainly looking ball with him there. I couldn't see anything visibly off the front wing. But maybe slight winglet damage potentially on the right-hand side. So Yabraka is struggling. Devon now Cooney's into second. And that is actually quite perfect from Yabraka's perspective, because he can try and be dragged back into the race. He's got a much quicker drive from Devon ahead of him. This will be perfect, I think, from Yabraka. But if you can iron out those mistakes, if he has got that damage, he has to iron that out very, very quickly, because Baku is literally a very punishable track. I think I saw Will Murdoch there nearly hitting the wall coming out of the left-hander there at turn number 12. Johan there is right on the back of him there as well. Mateo saying there, where's Ryan? Ryan is not here tonight, unfortunately. I believe he is away for PSGL F2 tonight. He will be back, I think, next week. It is the Easter break, though, so I don't blame the drivers for missing 1 or 2 races and filling yourselves full up of chocolate, if you have been doing over the past couple of days. Jerry Van Bossel, though, leading the way, 1.8 seconds. Johan on the back of Will Murdoch is looking quite intense and quite looking to try and get that move done. Ren's now under pressure from Lukakart, and the OP man's not going to take the second invitation for here, and Lukakart absolutely sails on by Ren's even before we get to the DRS detection zone. And in fact, I think Ren's is in the pits. Right side end plate damage, I think, on the car, so Ren's is into the pit lane, obviously crashed the wall somewhere. Zolzo and Kryptonite are going side by side in towards turn number 1 as well, and Krypton looking to try and get the job done on Zolzo in the end. QRT man there in 12th, as Ron has gone straight on there at turn number 1, but he has recovered the car. I think he must have done an ERT Kieran in qualifying.
He just went straight on. That's all I saw from it. Must have outbroken himself. Ron saying that he did not do a single lap of practice. He didn't do a lot of laps in qualifying as well. He stayed in the pit box for a long time and then just set 1 lap, which put him into last of all the people that had actually set a timed lap. And he's now lost connection to the train as well. Yeah. Devin, he is on 20% of ERS. He is struggling ERS-wise, but he just has so much more pace. He put Yabraka on 9/10 last time, coming onto the big straights. But then you just got 2 DRS zones, which are which fully pull you back to the other driver ahead of you, especially if the driver ahead of you doesn't have any DRS. Will Murdoch is nearly outside of the DRS though, so he is going to have to push hard in that Mercedes to get back into the DRS. But it is because Black Box is very close on the rear of Jabraka. I wonder if Black Box is going to go for a move here.
Potentially so, yeah. Black Box has been on this up quite a while. Johan as well on the back of Will Murdoch, I think, is probably looking the better battle at this stage. He's been all over the back of him through that first sector, through the middle sector, and the castle sector.
Well, Black Box.
Final sector,
Black Box,
he's
James.
very weak. Yeah, here comes Black Box on the back of your bracket to the inside line, in towards turn 1. It should be quite easy in the end, and it's the wrong battle that we went on board with, because Black Box is through, and he's into third. Your bracket there in fourth, and now Aries is coming from an absolute mile back on the back of Twist. Thought he was going to look towards the inside line there. They've got ERT Kieran nearly up the rear end there through turn 1. Just outbroke himself there slightly, the ERT man, and oh my word, speaking about breaking himself, Aries has gone straight on down the escape road. In the end, nearly contact the back there of Twist, and in the end, he had to twist his way out of that one. Aries there in 14th, all the way down towards the back end of the field. And here comes Nuth on the back of Kryptonite. Kryptonite, in the end, is going to be overtaken potentially to the inside line of turn 3. The Ferrari and the Mercedes side by side. Krypton nearly hemmed on towards the wall. The German trying to go all the way around the outside now at turn 4. Krypton, to be fair, gives him room there, Nuth. And in the end, gave him too much room, because that was easy from Krypton. Krypton back through and he's into 12th. Nuth there in 13th. And Nuth not want to make any contact. But there's ways and means to try and get an overtake done, but he literally gave him so much room, he could have been off to the Baku Crystal Hall.
Oh, yeah. Kryptonite, though. He is outside of the DRS of Zozo currently, but Zozo doesn't have any DRS. Look at God, he's crashed in Castle. That is the first victim in Castle. He already crashed there in qualifying, and now he's also gone into the wall, or at least spun in Castle. I don't think he has any damage. It's been a spinning castle, which you don't see all that often as well. But Luca got all the way down to P14. But I want to just give a quick round of appreciation to Aris, because I know a lot of drivers that would not have gone for the escape road there and would have picked up damage. I think it was a smart thing to do. He's got a full fresh wing now, and he's made a mistake, and he has the opportunity now to fight back. Instead of having to make a pit stop whilst he hits the wall again there, coming onto the long straight, Aris somehow doesn't pop off his tyre. Twist, meanwhile, going past Gabriel, but I think Aris did that absolutely brilliant.
Oh my word! Oh, Twist, Jesus moly, mother of God, I thought that was going to be in the wall there from Twist. He had the move done, but he came too much speed in towards turn 1. His right wheel actually connected with the wall. The right rear connected with the wall. He got away with that one, I don't know how. Nuth now on the back of Krypton makes it look very, very easy indeed. Kryptonite, goodness me, you've been outsold there, my son, in towards turn 3. And Nuth nearly outsold himself in towards turn 3, because he nearly goes straight on into the wall. The Ferrari man just hanging on in there for 11th position. Avatar saying in the chat as well, one safety car and everything can change in the race. What is not going to change is probably Jerry Van Bussel's absolute domination so far. 3.1 seconds over Devon, still pulling away, maintaining that ERS as well. Black Box 11th, 30 bracket there in 4th. Johan, by the way, is right on the back of Will Murdoch, coming to the castle section once again. But he gets so close to the back of Will Murdoch through the castle section. And then through turn 15, he loses all of the time. He's got a little bit of ERS on, so he's actually gaining time this time around. But he loses time. It's this corner here where he loses time. He gets wide of the apex. Will Murdoch connects with the wall, just bounce him off it. Johan is right there. And hopefully this is the time where Johan can actually attempt to move, I think, on Will, because he has got more ERS. He's got 57% compared to Will Murdoch on 22. But if Johan really wants to make a move, really want to make a statement in this race, I think he's got to make a statement now. Past Will Murdoch as Devon, Black Box is now pressurising Devon in towards turn 1. The Talon Factory man going for the move for second, and he's absolutely sailed on by to the inside line in towards turn 1. So that's his job done, and now Johan attacks the move in towards turn 1. Somebody's been listening to me in the commentary. Johan through, and he's on Will Murdoch, and he's through, and he's into 5th position, and it was just a matter of time, not if but when, to get the move done. He is through there, and he's into 5th, and also I think Nuth has gone past on Zozo.
James, I've seen Jabraka hit the wall 5-6 times now, and he's still going. The gap is 1.3 seconds now, because this was the biggest hit so far.
Kieran to the inside line, and Gabrielle, sorry to cut you off, to the inside line. If he gets this job done, it'd be brilliant, but Gabriel's fighting back at the outside of turn number 4. This would be brilliant if he can pull this off. There's no way Gabriel's going to find the wall, but he is. He is. Gabriel, the NLR man, fighting this back. Brilliant stuff by the NLR man. That is how you next level race around this track. Kieran through, and he's into, Kieran down into 9. Gabriel through and he's into 8th position. I've just totally called a different sponsor. I don't mind. You never last racing with Gabriel. He's through and he's into 8 and absolutely fought that to tooth and nail right to the death.
That was an incredible switchback from Gabriel. Kieran, being on the medium tyres, they are starting to equal out. He's unable to get past Gabriel, but maybe he will be able to next DRS section. But Gabriel has driven himself back in DRS already. 50% of ERS. Again, got with the wall made by Twist. They keep hitting the wall there, but I don't think these drivers realize that they just keep giving that wall a slight percentage of wing damage, and eventually it adds up. If you get 4% of wing damage, it doesn't even show in the MFD menu, but it will impact your downforce slightly. Yabaka has managed to drive himself back in the DRS, which I maybe find the most incredible. Johan does not have the ERS needed to make a move, and Will Murdoch is starting to drop off the back of it. He doesn't have any ERS at all, but it's still a strong showing from Will Murdoch.
And your bracket, did he hit the wall coming out of turn number 1 as well? And he's going to hit the wall there through turn number 2, and he has! And that is Johan through, and he's into 4th. And your bracket, 1 wall hit too many from the German. Baku punishes the unpunishable, and Yabraka now down in 6th position behind Will Murdoch.
No end plate.
Has he got, right on end plate damage, I think, on the car. I knew for fine fact that was going to be in the wall. And he just clouded the inside curb, basically, at turn number 2. He went wide of the curb and then ended up connecting with the wall. Johan's then made secondary contact. Nothing he could do about it because Yabraka was already in the wall in the first place. Johan cleanly got that job done. That's not going to go to the stewards, I don't think. It's Yabraka's own doing, really. Johan through and he's into 4th. Will Murdoch now takes 3 position. He's through and he's into 5th, and he's doing a solid job, I've got to say. Out on track there as well. Yabraka there in 6th at the minute. But Jerry Van Bussel out on top. And Timon, please explain to our viewers how Jerry Van Bussel has got 86% of ERS, but yet he's 3.6 seconds clear of Black Box.
Wizardly. I think he's a wizard. He's not human. No, I think Jerry Van Bussel, I think it shows that if you put the hours in to practice, because if Jerry Van Bussel hasn't practiced for this race at all, I don't know what he's been eating. But I think Jerry Van Bussel, he just proves that practice makes perfect. I think all the Talent Factory boys do it, because I know the Talent Factory boys, they can sit in a party with each other and just grind F1. Practice and practice and practice. And I think that is the right thing to do. You don't see a lot of people do that because they're either like, oh, this game's not good, so Shabaka's in the pit lane with wing damage. Like, oh, this game's not good or anything. They just keep complaining. And the Talent Factory boys are like, we can't do anything about it. What we can do is make the most out of it. Practice, and it makes perfect. Jerry Van Bussel, 4.1, 4.2 seconds clear of his teammate's back box. His teammate is doing challenges. He's just easily able to pull away from them. But once you're in the lead, you're able to save ERS. Kian said Jerry didn't practice only 1 hour before the race.
And that is just
I
mad.
think Jerry has had a very good meal then. Because I don't know what he's been cooking, but he's been cooking well.
Oh, he's been cooking. He has been cooking. I'm not sure if he's been to the gym or something. He's put himself up on steroids or something. But Jerry is doing a fantastic job out on track. And I'm going to say this now on stream. If he's not promoted to F1, I am pretty shocked, because this guy, honestly, his first 2 races of the season, ignore them. Absolutely poor. The first 3 races of the season, absolutely poor. Rounds 4 and 5 was where his season started, and Jerry, from that point onwards, has never looked back. And he is a phenomenal talent as the CTC Championship YouTube account. I'm not sure who that is, actually. I think it's one of the old people, if I'm not mistaken.
Lars Simic.
It's Lars. It is Lars. But yeah, honestly, he is fantastic. And Jerry, I've seen him race in TML, and normally he's been quite inconsistent there, but to put practice in only an hour before the race and to come out with a 4.2 second lead over Black Box, who's an F1 Esports Challengers man, let's not forget that, is just remarkable. Jerry should be going to F1 Esports. I dare say Black Box shouldn't be, but that is how the race is currently going at this stage. Black Box is now going to absolutely hate me for that. Luca Gart, by the way, is going to go for Kryptonite in towards turn number 1 on the outside line. Easy as you like from the OP man, and he is OP down the straight in towards turn number 1. And Luca Gart gets a stop on the curb through on Kryptonite, and now Krypton has dropped another position. Position gains, by the way, now on that 10 out of 26. Jerry Van Bussel still leading the way. Oh my word, Luca Gart nearly in the wall coming out of turn number 2 as I came up on board with him there. Ari's now attacking Zozo in the foreground of shot as well. And now the Shazoo man looking to try and get the inside in towards turn number 3. Easy as you like from the Shazoo man. To be fair though, Zozo trying to do with Gabriel, trying to come to the outside line of turn number 4, but in the end, Aries is through and he's into 10 and now into the final pole scoring position as a result. Max saying there as well, Black Box apparently hasn't found the right tyre pressure, which is why Black Box is struggling so much.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't say he's struggling once he's in P2, James. You
not.
can't say that. I do have a funny thing that I've just realised. From P2 to P13, the person with the most amount of ERS currently is Gabriel with 28%. Everyone has just been absolutely destroying their battery, pushing like crazy, and then you just have the leader who's 5 seconds clear, Jere van Bassel 92%. Ah, how?
Mad.
I mean, we don't... It's incredible. Oh, and the wall goes... Pinned it out of the final wheel corner. Too early on the throttle on the outside curb. And he's absolutely sent it into the wall. No more wing for Will Murdoch. And this should be classed as a victory for Kryptonite. But Will Murdoch there, going from P5 all the way down to P9 currently, will be overtaken by Harris on the straight. But he's going to have to pit. It doesn't really matter. He can go on mediums to the end of the race. So Karen goes past Gabriel. Oh no, Gabriel into the pit lane as well. We're starting to see pitters, but Will Murdoch going for P5 all the way to the back of the grid with wing damage.
That's a shame. Full bottle there from Will Murdoch. And a front wing change actually for Gabriel. So I wonder if he's had secondary contact potentially with his front wing coming off. Gabriel, I think I saw the front wing clout Williams, and I didn't think actually it was Gabriel. I thought it was another car. I thought it was Twist, I think it was. But Gabriel there in 15. Now, out of the pit lane, he has had a front wing change as well. He's out ahead of Will Murdoch by an absolute mile as well. But Gabriel, I think what happened there, his front wing basically bounced off the wall on the right-hand side, has came and then collected underneath Gabriel, and his front wing, his right side end plate, I think, was broken. So that is why Gabriel is down in 15th now. No, a front wing change, and cost him time, and is going to cost him even more compared to the likes of Nuth, Ari, Zozo, who are probably all going to gain a free position.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for him. I am not the most knowledgeable guy on tyre wear, but I think Jabraka is on 2-level mediums. Will he be able to go to the end as well? Same counts for Gabriel and Will Murdoch, because the mediums tier should be able to last a solid amount of time, and they're not fully classified out of the race because Jabraka bid it a lot early with wing damage, but he's just been bumping out these laps on the fresher medium compound of tyre, and he's 3.5 seconds ahead of Gabriel. I think, I mean, of course he lost 7 seconds, but I think Jabraka isn't fully out of the race yet.
He isn't, but then again, that tyre wear is going to be very hard as Kieran is into the pit lane from that set of medium. So if Kieran can last 12 laps basically on a set of medium compounder tyres, that will do your calculations. They should last 15. It depends really on the driving style, I think, of the drivers around here. If you've got an aggressive driving style and you're Jabraka, you are not making it as... Speaking of Jabraka, he's going to make the move on Renz, I think, in towards turn number 1. This should be quite easy. Renz, by the way, could go to the end of the race as well. I'd be very surprised if he does. But Jabraka is through on Renz. Renz is trying to have a fight back at him, though, in towards turn number 2, but in the end, Jabraka through, and he's into 13th. And look at Kieran. Kieran's ahead of him. And on track, on that sort of hard compounder tyres, probably the better tyre to be on towards the end of the race. I mean, like, final 5 laps of the race, and Kieran trying to massively weave down the straight. Oh, that's actually Renz. Oh, my word. What on earth was that? Oh. He's just completely lagged inside of Jabraka, and then has just came out of Jabraka. And actually, speaking of Jabraka, here he comes on Kieran, fresher tyre, should get the job done around the outside in towards turn number 5, and he does. Gabriel has left the session there as well. That is a shame. He is, of course, down there in 15th, so I wonder if there's a disconnection going on his end. But Renz had a massive lag spike there. In the end, nearly PG'd 18 Jabraka, oh my word, nearly spun Jabraka coming out of turn number 7. But Renz, in the end, goes inside of Jabraka and has came out of him a position behind on Kieran.
Yeah, I was trying to invite Gabriel, but it seems like crossplay is on. Rens was playing peekaboo with Yabraka. He just went up the inside and he disappeared. I don't know what he was doing. Garrett's out. Garrett's out.
And that's a turn 15.
Safety car?
Yeah, safety
There
car.
is a safety car. And this throws the race fully over. We've not even at half the race, and everything is going to change. Everyone's going to be able to pick to a fresh set of mediums. And then, who knows what's going to happen then. This is Baku.
This is Baku indeed. Jerry Van Bussel out on top. The top 5, by the way, well, the top 4 certainly missed the pit lane. Jerry Van Bussel, Blackbox, Devon and Johan. Once that safety car came out, they were already down through turn number 1, already through turn number 2, so they couldn't come in the pit lane. Everyone else, bar from Ron and Zolzo, who've stayed out, everyone else has came into the pit lane. Nuth is now the fresher man on those medium compound tyres. He is there in 7th. Everyone has got to make the pit stop in front of him. They are going to stick to delta times, though, on this lap. So this is the perfect opportunity for the top 4, certainly, to come in. If I was in Zolzo and Ron's shoes, I'd probably stay out and cause a little bit of chaos. If I was in their shoes, I would probably stay right in the mix there with Blackbox and Devon, right in the middle. Just cause a little bit of chaos, bring Nuth into play, bring the likes of your bracket twist into play, and then you've got a very exciting race. But we are halfway through here in Baku. Safety car is out on track, and Yeri Van Bussel leads away from Blackbox in 2nd, Devon there in 3rd. But the crucial thing is, because the leaders were not caught in the safety car, these guys have got to stick to their delta times, which means, technically, for the front 4, they've got a free pit stop on the guys that have just came in.
Doesn't really matter all too much. Yeah, on the Delta, we're absolutely chilling. If I were in their shoes, I would have absolutely bid. And I still would bid. If you were in their shoes of Zorzo and Ron, I would understand that you'd stay out, because that would be the only time you would ever lead a race. But yeah, we'll just see what happens. I assume everyone's going to pit. Jerry from Bussel indeed in the pit lane. Can see this whole train. Are we going to see any overtakes in the pit lane? That would be something. It's quite the wide pit lane entry, but Johan is taking it very careful. We're not going to be seeing any crazy shenanigans. Zorzo should be able to pit, and I think Ron will as well.
Yeah, I think Ron is actually staying out by the looks, unless he jukes me to the left-hand side now. No, Ron is staying out. Ron is going to stay up. Oh, you absolute... you swine. Is what I'll probably get wrong for that, but he is, yeah.
He's not even in the lead, James. He's gained one position by staying out.
Yeah.
He should pit next lap, because he would end up in the same position as where he would have been otherwise.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he would have been ahead of Renz and Lars.
No, he'll be behind Will Murdoch, I think, if he pits in this lap, he'll be behind Will.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so he'll be, right down in the back of the field where he was. Ron, though, I'm not sure if that was intended. He probably didn't. This stream is on about a 25-second delay, so there is absolutely no chance that he has heard that in 25 seconds, unless he has got absolute jet-powered internet, and his internet is running at the same speed as mine is right now. Ron, in 5th, nearly juked me, you little swine. I hope he doesn't do that again this season, but I know for fine fact he will, because it's been said on stream now, he is probably going to do that again. And to be honest, I'm fine with that. If he doesn't juke me again, I'll be very happy. If he's watching the stream right now and tries to juke me in this lap, I'm on board with you, my friend. So don't try anything funny. As Gabriel's joined back.
That's good. Very nice that he has joined back. Someone finally was able to give him the invite. I think Ron is listening, actually. I think you just got a microphone someone set up in your house. You need to really look at your room properly. You might clean it once as well, then. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting if Gabriel will pit, because his AI has been staying out for him. 3-lap all mediums. He's in P11. I don't think he should be getting any issues, because some part of the race has been driven by AI. But he just didn't get an invite. I think he should be all right. Lars is still catching the safety car. Safety car will not be in this lap. Will Ron pit now? That is the question. I'm seeing in chat also that Devin should be promoted to F1. Now, I'll be biased here, but I'm clearly a favour for that.
Oh, here we go. Here's Ron coming in.
Oh.
Coming in the pits. He's actually coming in the pits. Thank goodness for that. At least he didn't juke me this time around. But
I think it was 100% that he stayed out just to juke us.
And Gabriel.
There's no other reason for it. Yeah. Gabriel should go to a fresh set of mediums. Does he have it?
He should do. He's on 4 level mediums. He could go hards, potentially to the end of the race.
No, it's a fresh set.
No, fresh set mediums, so he had a fresh set retained at least. Championship leader, by the way, Lars, down in 16th position right now. No points going his way. As it stands, now I'm going to do quick calculations. If it lags, I apologise, but I'm going to get the driver standings up on the left-hand side and tell you where everyone is at this stage. As it stands, right now out on track, Black Box would be new championship leader on 54 points. Lars would remain on 48. Devon there would be in 3rd. So he would be in 3rd, so that would be 10 points. So he'll be on 48, so he'll be tied actually with Lars for 2nd in the championship.
Lars got fastest lap.
Lars has got fastest lap, so that might be an extra point coming his way. I think it's only in the top 10, however, that the points are picked up for the fastest lap. So if that is the case, there might not even be a fastest lap point. I think there is normally. But if there is, and it's actually down all positions, then Lars will pick up that fastest lap point down there in 16th right now. So that'll be him on 49, and he'll be tied actually with 2nd with Jerry Van Bussel, who will be 2nd on 49. So as it stands, Black Box would be leading the championship by 5 points out on track. And of course, that is before any stewards notifications, any stewarding bans or whatever, or steward findings come out. But what we can say with confidence, Timon, is the virtual safety car, the safety car will be in this lap, and Jerry Van Bussel will be the virtual safety car. If you were in Jerry's shoes right now, with the safety car now coming in, what would you do? Would you back up the pack, or try and follow the safety car and then leave it late until the restart?
I don't know. It's a very, very long straight here at Baku. So you don't really know what to do. But at the end of the day, you can't... That's a really nice voice, Greg. At the end of the day, you can't use a corner to surprise someone. So I think it will be very slow driving. And just going on the throttle whenever it feels like it's needed. He couldn't do it go now, because the safety car is pretty much already in the pit lane. It goes a lot quicker because it doesn't have to take any corners. Safety car always being slow in those corners. But Jerry is currently in 1st gear, so I don't think he'll be accelerating at first. So that's going to be a key to watch out. He's going in 3rd, so he's preparing now to go. And there he goes indeed. That was an absolutely good restart there. But Johan's very awake. He is already besides Devon. He wants to profit from a very big gap behind him there, but Johan's on a lot of wings, higher wings, but Devon did have a slipstream going back up the inside, just looking there, not really making a real move. And it's been a very clean safety car restart for everyone, but a very good one from Jerry.
Yeah, very, very good restart from Jerry indeed. He is through and he's into the lead of the race still from 0.6 of a second from Black Box. Devon there in 3rd. Nuth is under pressure from Twist running down the straight in towards turn number 3. He, of course, has undercut pretty much everyone, in fact, in terms of the whole field. The TF10 man is through and he's in 5th position right now. He's right down at the back of the field, of course, at the start of the race. So he is doing a fantastic job and coming alive here, the German. Zolza was right on the back of Luca Kart there for 8th and 9th. Kryptonite, by the way, is still in the point. He's there in 10th position further down the field, but everyone with a very, very clean restart. Why couldn't we have that on that one? But Jeffy leads the way. Black Box in 2nd, Devon there in 3rd. Very, very clean restart by all. Castle section, though, could catch people out, but Jerry out on top, 600 a second. The Castle looking lovely, I've got to say, on the left-hand side. 84% of EOS that Jerry has got, and now begins to turn on the afterburners once again through the left-hander, turn number 13, in toward the left-handers of 14 and 15. There was a slight mistake, I think, further down the field by Yabraka, if I'm not mistaken. Renz was right close to him. In the end, though, it's not close enough in towards turn 15, but Yabraka had a mistake there at turn number 12. And I thought there was a car from the left-hand side. It was just Shadow on the left-hand side. Got me excited for a second. But Jerry Van Bussel leads. Black Box in 2nd. Devon in 3rd. The most unentertaining safety car restart. As soon as I say that, though, Krypton has binned it in the wall. So Krypton, no front wing, has binned it in the wall. Back to green flag racing, so no safety car VSC coming out. And also under pressure, Will Murdoch is now getting the attack on Renz towards the inside line. In towards turn number 1, the Mercedes. Now drag racing all the run down towards turn number 1. Ron's under pressure from Gabrielle as well. And that's around the outside, in fact, I think. Ron is going down. Gabrielle is going on Ron. And in the end, gets the job done to the inside line. Gabrielle through and he's into 13th, but Will Murdoch pouncers on Renz. He's soon he's into 11th. Good restart by all, apart from if you're a Kryptonite fan, you're down in 16th with no front wing.
I mean, everyone's a Kryptonite fan. It's a bit like everyone's a Ferrari fan and everyone is just a Kryptonite fan. unless you got screwed over by the stewarding, then I would understand. If you're not a Kryptonite fan. Meanwhile, up front, Erik van Bussel's not really been able to take away yet. Black Box has been on him, but there's a 35% gap ERS difference. He's just so clear currently, Jerry. And behind them, Devin is on a lower ERS as well, and he's nearly out of the DRS. So it just shows that Jerry and Black Box, they are just so quick this F2 season. Devin has been telling me that he absolutely doesn't like this track, so it might not refer the pace that they have in general compared to each other. But the pace difference is just so there. Black Box nearly flashing already though, having to keep up with Jerry, and Jerry is just not pushing, and he's driving away.
He is.
How does he do it? I don't know.
Yeah, 20% of ERS that Black Box has got. Jerry van Bussel, 57%, and now opens up the afterburners once again. Yeah, purple middle sector from Jerry. Looking very, very good, I've got to say. Will Murdoch now is on the back of Yabraka, who again has just been struggling slightly for that middle sector. Mercedes-Man now on the back of the German, on the run down in towards turn 1. And look at Black Box and Jerry, they're beginning to pull away from Devon there in third. And Devon's the one all of a sudden who is out of DRS range and now is going to be in trouble, perhaps from Johan, perhaps from Nuth, certainly in behind. The TF Taman will be there to try and pounce as Will Murdoch in towards turn 1 is on the back of Yabraka, not getting the job done. Clout to the curb as Lars, the championship leader, nearly runs Ron out of road there in towards turn number 1. That was very late on the brakes there from Lars. Just cut off camera shot slightly, but Lars is through and he's into 14th, Ron there in 15th. And I think that was Lars down it to the inside line, nearly forcing off Ron in towards the wall. Unintentional, of course. Lars, I think, just messed up his braking zone there. But the championship leader through and he's into 14th. And the man has got form around this track. He has done well around here in the past. However, Talent Factory man, the championship leader, is not going to be the championship leader for much longer. I saw him put up on Twitter a little bit earlier on that he was looking forward to Baku. He'd be looking forward to getting out of Baku, I think, probably with his visa and passport in hand, looking to go, of course, into next week's race, which, of course, is going to be in China. So we go from Azerbaijan to China next week for the Shanghai International Circuit, the Chinese Grand Prix. And, of course, a track that is not on the Formula 1 calendar because of contractual disrepute in terms of this season and in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic in recent years as well. And a little bit of a discussion topic that I want to bring up as well, just quickly in the F2 comment section. What do you guys think of the potential 25 race calendar that has been rumoured? Because I think that is honestly the worst thing I think I've ever heard. As Will Murdoch, on the back of Yabraka, could be about to eat my own words.
I have not heard anything from a 25 race calendar. You might have to send me a link afterwards. But Yabraka will be going for a move here on Zorzo. Whilst meanwhile upon Johan, he is going past Devin. Devin didn't have any DRS to defend with. He has lost the DRS strain. So he has lost that position. Yabraka meanwhile going past Zorzo. And there goes Will Murdoch profiting from that fight as well. Up the inside now there into turn 2 and he makes it stick as well. Will Murdoch spun earlier, but he had some really promising pace. Let's see if he can get back up there whilst I'm having hiccups, which is one of the most annoying things to have whilst commentating. Black Box has driven Jerry outside of the DRS, James. Already.
Gabriel.
Black Box got 5%. Jerry has got 30. No. He's just absolutely chilling.
Gabriel and Renz are having a huge battle, by the way, further down the field. 12th and 13th position. Gabriel tried to look to the inside line. He went too deep on the brakes. Renz then came back and ran the outside of turn number 4. And now they're side by side leading towards turn number 7 of Gabriel.
No
what
way.
A phenomenal run. He does. Renz in trouble. Gabriel to the inside line and towards turn number 7. Do not go around the outside of the castle section. Thank goodness he's not. That was deja vu, certainly, from what I was looking in towards doing on Mr. Tom Zaggers, by the way, who's the unfortunate driver that I crashed out in that race around here in Baku. But Gabriel there in 13th, Renz in 12th, remains as they are, my word. I hope to see around the outside of the castle section one day, because I'd absolutely lose it in commentary. If that doesn't happen if that doesn't happen tonight, I'll be very, very happy. If it happens on the next game, I'll be very, very happy as well. And Gabriel's still on the back of Renz, and it makes me wonder, actually, if Renz has got a little bit of damage here. Gabriel on the back, Lars on the back as well. And do you know what? We're going to get a 3 wide, I think, down towards turn 1, because the Talent Factory man is now beginning to cook on the back of Gabriel and Renz. He will pull possibly toward the inside line. He's going to pop the Red Sea to the middle. Yes, he is. And Lars absolutely speeds on by through into P12. Gabriel on the outside line is still there, though, and he tries to go all the way around the outside of turn number 1. This will be phenomenal from the NLR man if he can pull it off. But Lars parting the Red Sea. Renz now now coming back at Gabriel. Gabriel's still there on the outside of turn number 2. Renz having a little bit of contact there. Gabriel in the wall slightly. Renz lets him go. But now Ron all of a sudden is in all of this. And still, Renz and Gabriel are side by side, but in the end, Gabriel comes out on top in that battle, trying to go around the outside. He got, I think, tapped slightly by Renz in towards turn number 2. Gabriel 13th, Renz 14th, Ron in 15th. Up until that bit of contact, that was phenomenal racing as Will Murdoch. I don't know what he was trying to do there. I think he tried to go around the outside of the bracket at turns 5 and 6, which was never going to work.
Yeah, Renz, meanwhile, did pick up damage. In that contact, he is missing an end plate again. Ron was able to easily go past him there. Will Murdoch, he's now behind Jabraka, and they're not really catching up to that big train ahead of them. So let's see what's going to happen there. There's also a big gap between Aries and Knoof now. Aries did go past Twist on the previous lap, but you were distracted with Lars, Gabriel, and Renz because that was just a way more entertaining battle. Aries is currently ahead of him though, and Twist is just absolutely chilling there on low ERS, but he does have the DRS advantage on this long straight, so I don't think you have to worry about that yet. Devin, meanwhile, is going, or at least looking for a move on Johan. He's going to go up the inside here, and it will be P3 again for the FVR man, and he has made the mistake there on Johan. He goes really wide there. Knoof in the background.
He did. He absolutely locked up the front tyres then towards turn number 1. The Ferrari man there in 5th. Aries there in 6th. Twist and 7th as Gabriel has retired into the pit lane, and also Renz is out of the race into the pit lane. Both must have damage as a result of that incident. So Renz and Gabriel both at the race, both at least doing the decent thing, retiring in the pit lane, which I've got to say is fantastic from their perspective. Now means Kryptonite is getting 2 free positions without passing anyone out on track, which I think was phenomenal from his perspective as well. And the yellow flags are just for that, those 2 cars coming out of the pit lane, which again is a glitch that should be removed, I think, in the new game for F1 23, whenever that may come out. It's Jerry out on top from Black Box in 2nd, Devon there in 3rd. Fabi there saying in the chat, still can't believe he's in Challengers, going to be interesting for him in 2 weeks' time. I believe it's next week, if I'm not mistaken, Challengers, F1 Esports Challengers, of course, next week. Legacy Division, by the way, that I commentate on for WR, had the only 11 F1 Esports Challengers guys in there this week, and that was 6 Xbox, 5 PS. So if you do want to tune in for WR on Tuesdays for Legacy Division tomorrow night and want to see some of the best F1 Esports Challengers guys out there, you can do that indeed. Luke Humphries will be very glad that WR plug in on the PSGL live stream. Johan on the back of Devon is looking to try and get the job done in towards turn 19, and actually with more ERS slightly, he's going to try and have a run him in towards turn 1, but I think Devon's just got the legs to try and see him off in towards turn number 1. Luca Cart though on the back of Twist is looking interesting. Nothing really happening up front because Jerry Van Bussel has exploded away. It's 2.6 seconds out in front from Black Box in 2nd. Devon there in 3rd, Johan there in 4th, and in towards turn number 1 we go with Luca Cart. He's not on the back of Twist, not going to get that job done. But Johan looking pretty tasty on the back of Devon, not going to get the job done towards turn number 3, but if he can back up that ERS and just save up that little bit and post him behind Devon, I think if I was Joachim the engineer for Devon at this stage, I'd be pretty worried about Johan in behind.
James, I think if Jerry Van Bussel was full-time on PC and just showed this rapid growth of improvement, people would start to think he's cheating. 3.1 seconds with more ERS. He's going to absolutely walk this race. He walked the last race and he walked the race before that. He must go to F1. We've said it before and I'll say it again. It should happen. But indeed, the battle between P3, we're saying, is interesting. Make it the battle for P2 because Devin is very close to the back of Black Box and he's actually inside the DRS range right now.
Yeah, and he's responding to that as well. He realises that he's just within that second, but he's got to gain that second. Black Box, I think, has got quicker straight line speed, which is why I think he's got more downforce down the straights. Devon is on the back through the corners, and now there's a DRS detection point, and I wasn't convinced that he actually got DRS there from Devon's perspective. The DRS detection point, in fact, is actually here, coming through the right hand of turn number 19. We'll see if he has got DRS, and I think 9/10 per second is comfortably within. But, let's see. Yeah, he has got DRS, which is good. Here comes Twist, though, on the back of Aries, looking interesting. The QRT man on the back of the Shazoo man. Trying to get the job done in towards turn number 1. This should be easy, I think, from Twist's perspective. And he absolutely sails on by Aries as if he's not really even there. Twist Looney's into 6th. They've got to watch out in the braking zones because Luca Kart do not want to invite him into the battle because there he is in 8th position. Doing a good job for OP, made up positions of course off the race start as well, gaining 4 positions. Nobody has gained more positions though than Nuke out on the track. 12 positions, 17th on the grid, up to P5. You have just caught something, however. Was that Lars in the pits?
Lars in the pit lane changing his wing. It was not a voluntary pit stop. He had wing damage that he had to change. He will now be going for the fastest lap. But Lars had picked up that much wing damage that he had to pit in the last 3 laps. So there will be no points scored for Lars this race. And I think if Devin, at least Devin overtakes Black Box, and maybe Johan is needed as well to overtake him, Jerry will go to P1 in his standings. I'm not sure if my math's correct.
I'm not sure your math is correct either. I'll probably have to double check that towards the end of the live stream. But Jerry's out of
the
top.
Calculators are currently locked up.
The calculator is currently locked up. We'll have a look at the championship standings. I'll work it out on my screen in terms of OBS and see what we can do. But Devon, there, Blackhawk's almost now beginning to back Devon up, and Devon's almost getting back up into Johan as well. Perfect from the man in P4 at this stage because he has got a double toe down this straight. And for the next couple of laps as well, as long as he stays within a second. So this is not over and done with. Johan could potentially get P2 out of this race. He just needs to save his ERS, I think. Devon, the same. He just needs to save his ERS and just lifting coals going through the corners. Luca Kart, by the way, is now looking on the back of Barry's and is trying to drain every ounce of that battery, every sinew of that battery in towards turn number 1. The Red Bull on the back of the Aston Martin not getting the job done. Oh, I thought that twisted. He went too deep there in towards turn number 1. Avatar saying in the chat as well, yeah, Jerry is faster by 0.4 to 0.6 seconds. And in fact, actually, because Black Box's tyres is going off, I even make that around 8 tenths of a second per lap that he is gaining on Black Box, who's there in second and has done a fantastic job. Do not get me wrong, Black Box is an F1 Esports Challenges standard driver any day of the week. He's been fantastic this season. But when you rock up and have Jerry Van Bussel potentially winning the last 3 races, including here tonight in Baku, you have got to look at yourself and think, what more can I do? What more can all of PSGL F2 do if he's not promoted? Because it looks as if, Simon, at this stage, if he's not promoted, Jerry Van Bussel could just walk the championship from this one onwards.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to happen. He's just been very dominant with not a lot of practice. And if it really comes down to it and he needs to practice, what pace can we see then? We don't know it. F1 is definitely the place to be for him. But for now, we're going to put our attention up to P2. Black Box, Devin, and Johan. TF, FVR, and 1 Esports. It's gonna come down to the final 2 laps to see who's gonna get P2. And everyone can still take that position. Johan is within 2 tenths of Devin currently, but he does have Devin ahead of him, who's got DRS. But Devin ahead, he's got Black Box, who doesn't have DRS. So I think everything can happen. If I was Devin, I would wait for the final lap. The long straight, you can definitely get it there. And they're both saving ERS, because Johan is not saving ERS. So I think we all know who wants to make moves. And that is Johan. He wants to be making a move on Devin as soon as possible and then get Black Box done before the long straight. You don't want to be leading for when that long straight is fully ahead of you, and you got a driver with more ERS and maybe more straight line speed behind you, or at least a driver who's got DRS whilst you do not have DRS. It's just gonna come all down to that. I think it's gonna be that, James, unless you find something else.
No, I think Devin, if he doesn't make the mistake out of turn number 1, that's the only thing. He made a mistake out of turn number 1 onto this lap, and that put him on the back foot compared to Black Box. If he does that again, and he makes a mistake coming through, turn 15, turn 16, he's going to lose all of that time down the straight. So he does have to iron out that mistake, potentially. But he has got more ERS, as you mentioned. 37% now of ERS through the castle section. Johan is saving up ERS, but he's not lifting and coasting through the corners as Devin is doing. Devin lifting and coasting through the corners. Black Box also doing that. They're both saving up as Luca Kart is through on Aries, coming out of the castle section. Not sure what went on there. I'm not sure if Aries went in the wall slightly, but Luca Kart has taken full advantage of whatever went on there, and he is doing his into 7 and actually beginning to pull away from Aries. So I wonder if that was a clean sailing move there from him. But Devin now on the back of Black Box. He's just going to use up his ERS sparingly to try and get Black Box. Black Box, to be fair though, I think is further ahead, and Devin is not going to go for this in towards turn number 1. The FBR man, if he wants to counter his lucky stars, he's got to go for the move, probably coming out of turn number 15 on the final lap of the race. And speaking of the final lap, we're onto it now, as Aries is on the back of Luca Kart, charging on the outside line in towards turn number 1, and the Aston Martin man is through, and he's into 7th position. Luca Kart there now down N8, the OP man, but Johan trying to attack Devon through turn number 2 as we right back on board with this battle for P2. Devon is going to have to try and get something out of this race. I am going to say this now, Tom, and before you cut back to me, I'm sure, we're going to see a photo finish for second.
I hope we can see a photo finish. ERS, let's look at it. 25% for Black Box, 33% for Devin, 16% for Johan. I think you burn like 50% of ERS if you fully burn it on the long straight. But it depends what burns where. You can burn a little bit before that. Devin, he has the ERS management on point. He can burn a little bit beforehand to get even closer before the straight starts. The question is, will Black Box respond to that, or will he let Devin come a bit closer? Will they play DRS games maybe? Who knows? You can see everything happen, and we will know the answer to it in roughly 30 seconds. James, who's going to take P2?
Well, no, for a fine fact, who's going to take P1? Jerry Van Bussel, 5.7 seconds clear of Black Box. In the end, I think Black Box is just doing enough. You know, Ron is through on Zozo further down the field. That's in towards turn number 7, I think. So that's a good job there from Ron on Zozo further down the field. But Devon now having to use up all of that ERS. Black Box has got to defend this. He now puts on that ERS now, coming out through the final couple of corners. Jerry Van Bussel, though, coasting toward the line. Wins here in Baku. Are we going to see that photo finish for second? I don't think we will.
No.
But Black Box has got to hang on for second. Devon is charging at him, though. That straight was longer. It would have been different. Devon there in the end in third. Johan in fourth, got completely outwashed down the straight and didn't catch up to the back of Devon and Black Box in the end. But Jerry Van Bussel is your race winner once again here in Baku. 3 on the bounce. The fabulous 3, I've got to say, here from Jerry Van Bussel. He has driven this race absolutely spectacularly well. First in Austria, last week in Bahrain, now in Azerbaijan. If this man does not deserve a promotion to F1, I may as well resign as a commentator.
Yeah, I mean,
which is never going to happen, by the way.
Such a dominant race. Absolutely insane from him. I'm just going to quickly ask the drivers if they want to do interviews this time round. Jerry last time had to do engineering on the other TF boys, and I think Black Box is the same situation. So let's see who's all down to at least join our VC and actually talk to us, because last time we only had Yablaka. Session has now ended, and we saw a fastest lap steal by Kryptonite.
Krypton's just stolen the fastest lap of the race, I think off Lars as well. So that will not go down well with Lars. That will certainly go down well in the Kryptonite fan club that we've got here in the chat tonight as well. Fantastic race though in Azerbaijan. I said before we came live, and I think on the live stream as well, that this race, this track does sometimes not give us the action that we deserve. Tonight, however, only that safety car brought us into it. That safety car brought us, I think, a fantastic race beyond that. It was brilliant racing, battles up and down the field, Azerbaijan delivering. Very rare that you get a good race around here. Very rare you get a good performance around this track as well. And that is Jerry Van Bussel, of course, to the top step of the podium. Collects his third fake trophy in the F1 game for the season here in PSGL F2. Now the most winning driver in PSGL F2 this season. He could potentially extend that, of course, if we go through in terms of the on-track action, and he stays here, of course, in F2 and proves us right, or proves us wrong in terms of not moving up to F2, from F2 to F1. But in the end, Jerry Van Bussel, 5.5 seconds clear. As Timon mentioned earlier on, if this was Thomas Ronhar on the PS, there would have been absolutely all hell breaking loose, I'm sure, in the chat. Jerry, I can definitely say he's not cheating. It's just pure pace, and the pace difference told. Absolutely dominate the race win. Black Box in second, Devon there in third, with Johan there in fourth. Nuth, by the way, potentially driver of the day for me. 17th up to 5th. Fantastic performance from him. Twist there in 6th, Aries there in 7th, Luca Quart there in 8th, Yabraka there in 9th, Will Murdoch there rounding off the top 10 with Ron in 11th, Zolza there in 12th, considering he had a screen freeze in qualifying, I think he's done quite well from 16th up to 12th. Lars there in 13th, former championship leader, will take you through the standings, or the provisional standings, as we set up. Krypton there with the fastest lap in 14th, stealing Lars' fastest lap by 0.2 of a second in the end. Will not go down well in the Lars household. Ren's in 15th, also DNFing out of the race along with Gabrielle and Kieran, the 3 DNFs of tonight's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But Jerry Van Bussel out on top, Black Box in 2nd, Devon there and in 3rd, and in the end it became the Jerry Springer, well, the Jerry Springer show? I don't know where I was going with that. The Jerry show here in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, it's such a dominant race from Jerry. I don't think we can say a lot more. Knoef van Driver of the Day, I do somewhat agree with it. Knoef, he is a sleeper, but how could you not give Driver of the Day to Jerry van Bussel? He's led every single lap of this race, every single moment. He's not lost the lead for, I think, a second this race, James. You have to think about that. Even with pit stops, he's always been leading. It's just been an absolutely incredible race from him, and we're gonna hear him in the for interview this time round because he is in the waiting room. I will be dragging him in, and you can start it off, James.
Yeah, I've got a slight Discord glitch because I was just about to do that when he's decided to come in and you dragged him in, which is better because I can now focus on the interviews, which is brilliant. But we have been joined, of course, by the championship, the new championship leader. Let me just double check this. I want to get this right. I don't think he is. It is Black Box.
I mean, one of the two will be leading the championship.
Yeah,
it just depends on which one.
It'll be Black Box. Jerry will be on 49 points, I think, in 2nd in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. But we can speak to the man, of course, who finished in P1. That was Mr. Jerry Van Bussel. And Jerry, 3 races on the bounce. Where on earth has this pace come from?
Just from free time and practice, I think.
It certainly showed. It certainly showed. Honestly, I've seen performances around him and back. Yours probably is one of the most dominant I think I've seen in league racing in many a year. And talk us through it, because it until that safety car period, it seemed really easy. And obviously under the safety car period, you were in control. Were you ever phased by the man in behind you with Black Box?
Yeah, to be honest, after the safety car restart, so when we all on the mediums, first 2 laps, I was thinking, oh fuck, there was gonna be a battle to the end. But yeah, luckily I could get out of the DRS. And yeah, remain the lead again.
Yeah, and you remain within the lead. Black Box was within, I think, 6.5 of a second of you off that safety car restart. Was there a game plan between you both? I'm assuming you were in the same party. Was there a game plan between you both in terms of controlling the race by any chance?
I don't know.
Silence. There was. I can absolutely guarantee that, I think. But yeah, honestly, fantastic performance from yourself. You're going to be, I think, 2nd in the championship as well moving forward. Timon, I'm going to come across to you. Do you want to ask him any questions?
I've got one question. I think the most important question that will be asked to you this week. If you had the opportunity to move to F1 at this stage of the championship, knowing that you could very well become a champion in PSGL F2, will you be taking the switch to F1, or are you fully committing to F2?
Well, it depends how Big C and Krypton think about it.
But if the opportunity is there.
Yeah, I saw someone already from F3 joining F1, which was very surprising. So I will see whether I will get the question asked to me.
Not really an answer, but he's keeping it safe. He's keeping it very safe. Well, yeah, thank you very much. Amazing race, as the last 2 times. Enjoy your break. Have fun engineering, because I think that's what you'll be doing now for the F1 there. Good luck with that. And then we will be moving on towards Black Box. James, you can start, take it away again.
Thank you, guys.
We will be. Thank you very much, Jerry. Go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. We can now move on to the man who finished in P2 and in the end finished 5.5 seconds behind Jerry Van Bussel. It is, of course, Black Box. And Black Box, in the end, P2, I think given how Jerry was out on track, P2 was probably the best you could hope for.
James, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yep.
Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't looking for the race win today. Again, it was one of those races. It's one of Jerry's tracks. He somehow, pulls a masterclass at some of these tracks. But again, like he said, even though he didn't say many words, he's a man of few words, Jerry. But yeah, he said that he practiced a lot for this. For me, the focus was Bahrain and challenges. I won't lie, and it will be for the foreseeable future. My priority isn't PSGL anymore. It's all about the challenges now. Seeing as they've changed the calendar and things like that, it's a bit easier for me to commit to. And yeah, I wasn't really going to get first place, and I didn't practice much compared to Yeri. So P2 was the best I could get. Yeah.
Yeah, P2, I think, honestly, you did a phenomenal job out on track. And given how Jerry was, given his pace, I think that the pace difference was just telling. You mentioned there you obviously focusing on the F1 Esports Challenger, which I think is the best priority you can focus on, I think, at this stage. But given that you were 6.5 tenths behind him after that safety car period, did you have an inkling, potentially, of thinking, Jerry, just make one mistake? One mistake is costly around here. Did you ever feel like you were going to be in the position for the race win? Or was just Jerry just too good?
The thing is, the relationship between me and Yeri is very we're quite close. I don't want to challenge him or even like threaten, a crash or something like that. I don't want to make that a possibility. So for us, it was well, I respected Yeri's position out in front. I didn't want to get close to him. I didn't want to get anywhere near his rear wing in case there was a crash. And we knew that we had the pace against the other guys, and it was just stay safe, don't hit anything in the castle section, and stay on the pace. That's it.
Yeah, definitely. And my final question before I hand you over to Timon, of course, F1 Esports Challengers. I have to ask you about it. How's the preparation going for it?
No comment, James. No comment.
Are you even allowed to say how the preparation is going?
You can just I'll let you know that we are preparing for it. We are prepared, and we've got a lot of drivers, as you guys know, in the challenges already, compared to other teams like OP and Shazoo. I don't want to give too much away, but this is a big opportunity for our 6 drivers or 7 drivers to aim for the top 6, really. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think on a personal note, I think it's brilliant that you're getting an absolute chance because you have been part of the league racing community. We've known each other a couple of years now, and it's fantastic to see many drivers that we've commentated on in the past getting that chance to shine in F1 Esports. And I wish every single one of you the best of luck. And this could honestly change your life in terms of the preparation, in terms of going forward for Pro Exhibition, in terms of potentially signing up to F1 Esports team. We've seen it with Wilson Hughes, we've seen it with Matthias van Erven, who I've had the privilege of commentating on in the past, and of course he was in my league previously as well, so I can take a little bit of credit for some of his development. But Timon, I am not going to waffle on much longer. Any questions?
I've got one, and I'm a man of only one question. On the final lap, you guys were preparing, you and Devin, pretty much on the same amount of ERS starting the lap. Was it always clear to you that you were going to win and take that P2, or were you just a little bit scared that Devin was going to take away your P2 on the final lap, on the final straight?
No, we had it in the bag. We knew what was going to happen. We were controlling. To be honest, I was losing a lot of pace for some reason. I don't know why, but I hadn't done any medium tire practice, so I was losing a lot of speed. But it was it was controlled. We thought, okay, well, they are a bit faster than us, so we'll save a bit of battery. Saved quite a bit, and then our wings were good enough to see me to the end. So I managed to crawl over the line in second. But I say crawl over, but it was controlled. It was all good. Yeah, we weren't scared at all.
Saying that though, Devin was closing in on you towards the end of the race, and I said in commentary I was convinced that potentially if the straight was longer, you would have had absolutely no chance to try and defend off him, even until the longer turn number 1 that it would have been. But congratulations on the P2. Go and enjoy evening, and good luck if this is the last time that we see you race this season. Good luck for F1 Esports Challengers.
Thank you very much, James.
You are very welcome indeed. And that rounds us off. I think, in terms of the interviews tonight. We're not going to get an interview for the man who finished, of course, in P3, which is Devon. Timon could perhaps speak on his behalf in terms of that one. But that is the end for tonight, of course, for Baku, for Azerbaijan. I really hope you enjoyed the race. I certainly did. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. And, of course, Timon, who I don't think you're going to be in the commentary box next week, but if you are, it is going to be China, of course, next week. China as a track, what can we expect compared to Baku? Could we expect better racing in terms of overtaking? Could we expect more battles?
I mean, of course, there will be more overtaking opportunities. I don't think anyone is necessarily looking forward to China, apart from one man and woman only, and that man is named Louis Welsh. Obviously, it's a bad track, China. People that own controller, I believe Mobarak from F3 going all the way up to F1, he's gonna love the track. You got a lot of long swinging corners. Which makes the track a bit boring to drive, and you've got a very long straight, so ERS overtakes and DRS overtakes will be very easy. But it does also mean that you can have very long DRS strains, which would make overtaking a bit harder. So you'll either have a very long DRS strain, I think, or it will be a race with a lot of contact, a lot of crazy overtakes and moves, and hopefully a race where we don't have someone fully driving away with it and just a boring P1 finish. Because, of course, we all think that Jerry deserves it, but we would rather have that battle be for P1 with Black Box and Devin than let it be for P2.
Yeah, definitely. So, by the way, if you do want to watch PSF1, you will be taken automatically over to F1 when we end the live stream here. Max out on top from Kian in second, 2 F1 Esports Challengers guys there, Markedos there in third as well. Tom also an F1 Esports Challengers man in 7th, and Jensen as a reserve there in 10th position. So if you do want to go and catch that, they are literally about to go in towards the race. So we will not leave you much longer in terms of having to listen to us and having to see, well, a very dark screen in terms of my bedroom. You can see blue lights in the background, which I think is fitting because that is my TV screen and that is my that's my PlayStation that is still on the left-hand side. But a phenomenal race. If you can see me, thank you so much for watching. We are going to end it off here. We'll take you to our sponsors, of course, GT Maker, and then end off the stream so you can watch the F1 action. Thank you to Simon for filling in these last 2 weeks as well. Much appreciated. Hopefully it's not the last time we work together for PSF2 this season either. But we are going to end it off here, and we are going to take you straight across, of course, to the PSF1 race, which is just about to begin. So for myself and from Simon, thank you so much for watching. And until next time in China, which is next week, goodbye.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega, proudly supporting PSGL.